Yes.
What is your last class?
We discussed on logical system creation,
Okay.
client creation is SSC for transaction code, and user creation SU01.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a client?
Client is an administrative unit
Okay.
which handles
Who this user can access data, the database tables.
So,
user can maintain and access data.
so in a client, what type of data will be there? Client is an administrative unit. Okay. It's a logical entity. Okay, which users can access the data from the database tables. In a client, what type of data will be there? See this picture. In client, we have a customizing data, application data, and the user master data. Okay. What is user master data? What is user master data? This user master data is nothing but such as a parameters, authorizations, user groups means user related information. Whenever we are creating a user, it will ask you about the user specific information like first name, last name, okay, phone number, email ID, company name, what is the function, what is his group, and what is the expiry date, and what are the roles you want to assign, what are the profiles you want to assign, okay. So those information we call it as a user master data. Every user will have a user master data. Got my point? So in a client we have a user master data and customizing data. What is customizing data? Such as organizational units, assignments, and document types. Okay, based on the requirement, what are the customization is developed by our users. Those data is nothing but a customizing data. Okay, and apart from that, we have one more type of data, application data. This application data is nothing but a such as a business transaction data and material master data. Okay, so transactional data. So these all are business transactional data. This all are will comes under application data. You need to remember what type of data will be there in a client. Customizing data, application data, and user master data. Got it? So in a client administration, we discussed about the what type of data and yesterday we discussed, right? And what are the standard clients are there in SAP? Why standard clients? There are three types of clients. Standard clients are there. Whenever you have installed your SAP system, okay, if I want to log into the SAP system, I required a client and I required a user. Correct? So that's why SAP has provided a standard user and standard clients. Okay, what are the standard users are there? SAP Star and DDIC. What are the standard clients are there? 000, 001 and 066. Okay, using 000 or 001, I can log into my SAP system, okay, with SAP star or DDIC, okay, and I can create my own client. After that, I can log into my new client, okay, and after that, I can create my own user IDs, okay. So before create, what is the client creation range number? The client creation is the range number. It should be a 3-digit number, and the range is 000 to 999. Okay, and from 000 to 999, SAP has provided standard clients, right? What are the standard clients? 000, 001, 066. Okay. Apart from that, you can create your own user IDs. Got my point?
Yeah.
Okay. So before creating a client, we need a logical system name. What is the use of a logical system name? It is used to identify a system, okay, within a network, and it is used to, if any two SAP systems want to talk each other, then logical system name, with the help of logical system name, the two systems can talk with each other. Okay, how the client will assign to one logical system name. Every client will assign to one logical system name. What is my logical system naming convention? System ID means SID, CLNT, and client number. Okay. To create a logical system name, what is the transaction code? SALE, one transaction code, or BD54. This is one of the transaction code. Okay. This is the steps how you need to create a logical system name. Whenever you are creating a logical system name, it will ask you to create a change request. The change request is nothing but your transport request. Okay. Why? Because what are the changes you are doing in system level, those changes will be recorded in a transport request only. Got my point? What are the changes? Any changes if you are doing, you or developer or functional guys, what are the changes they are doing? Those changes will be saved into the transport request. Okay. There are two types of transport requests. You can create your own transport request, or system will create a transport request. Okay. Every transport will have a transport description to identify the transport request number. Okay. Got my point?
Yeah, can we know more about transport request, Mr. Ramo?
We'll discuss in TMS configuration. Okay.
Okay.
As TMS configuration, we will discuss. Just now, what we understand, what are the changes you are doing? Not only you, what are the changes are doing a user in a SAP system? Those changes will be recorded into a transport request or change request. The naming conventions are different. Transport request or naming.
Automatically, it will get recorded.
Automatically it will get recorded when there is a one condition we'll discuss now. Okay. So the transport request naming conversion should be every transport request have a naming conversion, right? So the naming conversion should be SID K9, and the transport request should be a 10-digit number, alphanumeric number. How many digits are completed now? The total transport request, it should be a 10-digit alphanumeric. Okay. So what is my naming convention of transport request? SID K9. How many digits are completed? 5 are completed. Okay. Remaining 5 are number. This is my transport request number naming conversion. Okay. Just remember, as of now, one transport request will be created and naming conversion like this. Okay. So in HTMS, we will discuss what is the transport request and what is the use of the transport request. Got it? So Yesterday we have created a user, right?
Yeah, this is one.
Okay. Remember what are the users or clients we are creating. We will use that user only, okay? Hmm. Yesterday we have created logical system name. Did we create a logical system name yesterday? Yeah, DEVCLNT 100. We have seen, right, how to create this. Yesterday one transport request also is created, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So logical system name has been created. Now I want to create a client. What is the transaction code to create a client? SCC4. We have created, right, yesterday this one 100.
100 we
Yeah.
have created. 200.
200 or 100 we created.
200. 200.
Okay. So logical system also we have created a DEV CLNT 200, right? So see, this is a client information, right? This is my client number and client role and logical system name DEV 200 I have said. And what is your client role? Based on your requirement, okay, you need to provide a role of your client, whether it may be a production purpose, whether it may be a testing purpose, whether it may be customizing purpose. Customizing is nothing but a development, okay, whether it may be a demo purpose, training purpose, SAP reference purpose. You need to create a role, not create. You need to select a role, depends on your requirement. Okay. After that, so whenever we talking about a client, we have a different types of data are there. What is the data? Client specific data objects and cross client objects. Correct? Client specific and cross client. Cross client is nothing but the data is available for all the clients in a system, across the clients in a system, right? So first come to client specific objects. Okay, client specific objects, if you want to change, what are the information, what are the options are there, we need to select. What is the first option? Changes without automatic recording. Changes without automatic recording. Okay, whenever you are if you select this option, whenever you are doing the changes, there is no without automatic recording. So those changes will be automatically without automatic recording. So the changes will not record automatically. Recording in the sense it will store into my transport request. Okay. What are the changes are there? Those will be recording in the sense those changes will be saved into my change request or transport request. Okay. Yesterday it asked me the transport request, right? Whenever I created a logical system name, it asked me a change request, right? Transport request. That is nothing but a recordings or saving. Got my point? So next point is automatic recording of changes. Automatic recording of changes, if you select this option, then what will happen? What are the changes you are doing? Those changes will be recorded automatically. Means it will ask you the transport request number. Okay? And if you select no changes allowed, no changes allowed means you cannot change the client specific objects. Okay, there is no way to touch the client specific objects. It's not possible to change client specific objects. Okay, and last option, changes without automatic recording and no transports allowed. Changes without automatic recording means the changes will not recorded automatically, and also no transports allowed. No transports allowed in the sense I cannot do a transports. from one system to another system. There are no transports allowed. Okay, these options are specific to my client specific objects only. Client specific objects only. Okay, in a real time scenario. Okay, in a real time scenario, see, this is my production system. My production system SID is a PRD, and in my production system I have a client like 300. Okay, so this production system is using by my end users. Got it? Is using by my end users. So what I want to do is my production system client 300. Okay, I don't want to give a chance to any to change any object in my client 300. Okay, I want to give a protection to my client 300. I want to restrict to my production client 300. Okay, users can work. Okay, can do they can do they can do modifications like database level. They can fetch the data, they can update the data, create the data, modify data, delete data, and all the things, and fetch the data. They can do anything. But what are the programs, what are the screens, what are the logic, what are the objects are developed in client 300? I don't want to give a chance to change those objects, whether it may be a client specific object, whether it may be a cross client object. Okay, if you given a chance to change, okay, to change the objects, whether it may be a cross client object or customizing of specific object. Okay, if you've given a chance to user to change in production client, so there is no security of your business data. There is no business, your business will not run properly. Got my point? Did you understand this concept? Production client, okay, we need to restrict them. So at that time, which option I can select? This option I can select for client specific objects. No changes allowed in my production client. For example, this is a production client. If we select this production, okay, if it is a production client, what in real time, what option will need to select? No changes allowed. Why? Because it is a production client. It should be restricted. Okay. These options are client specific objects and cross client objects. Tell me.
In real time, what will be the option for client specific objects?
If it is a production, no changes allowed will be selected. No changes allowed. So client specific objects should not touch, should not be changed in my production client. See, in production client, if we are given a opportunity to change the objects, to change the programs, to change the table modifications, okay, if you given a chance, then everyone can do that, right? I can do changes in production client. So production client should be a restricted. Got my point?
Yeah.
So that's why we need to select a no changes allowed. So this, if you selected this option, this will specific to only applicable to only client specific objects only. Okay. Apart from that client specific objects, we have one more object is there. What is that? Cross client objects. See here, what are the options are there for cross client objects? In cross client objects, we have a repository data, cross client data. So changes to repository and cross-client customizing allowed. Okay, if you selected this, I have given a provision to the user. He can change the data and the cross-client customizing data also. He can do the changes. Okay, and no changes to cross-client customizing data. Here, two data are the repository data and cross-client customizing data. So now the second option is no changes to cross-client customizing objects. Means I am giving a restriction to only cross-client customizing objects. And third option is no changes to repository data, repository objects. Means I am giving a restriction to only repository data, repository objects. Second point, no changes to repository and cross-client customizing objects. Means I am giving a restriction on both of in the sense repository as well as a cross-client. Okay. In real-time scenario, if it is a production, we need to select this because I need to restrict the cross-client objects also. That's why I am going to restrict no changes to repository and cross-client objects also. In production, we need to select this. Got my point?
Yeah.
In production system, whenever you selected these options, okay, whenever you selected no changes allowed for client-specific objects and no changes to repository and cross-client objects. If you selected this, okay, then we can call it as a one term like client 300 is closed. Okay, my client 300 is closed. Got my point? In real-time scenario, production client should be closed. Okay, in real-time scenario, development client should be open. Why? Because development client should be open. Why? Because in development client only, okay, my developers or functional team will do the or modifications or new enhancements. Okay, they can create a programs, they can write a coding, they can generate the screens, programs, development, programming logic, all the things will be happening in development system only, correct? So that's why my client should be open. If your client closed, then how can I change my objects? How can I create my objects? How can I create programs, screens and all the things? Right? In development the client should be open. Then only my developers can work. My functional team can work. Okay. At that time, what options I need to select if it is a development system? Automatic recording of changes. Okay. Automatic recording of changes means I have given a provision to change the cross-client objects. And whenever they are changing cross-client objects, those will be automatically recording. Means automatically recording means those are saved into transport request, right? And if it is a cross-client data, then what option I need to select? First option I need to select. I need to give a provision to change my repository data and cross-client data. This option I need to select. Okay. If these options are selected in development, we can say the development client is open. Got my point? Development client is open. Okay. And if it is a testing system, quality system, okay, in quality system also the client should be closed. The client should be closed. Why? Because any guess? Why? Because
The production data
see, this
should
is
be
my
tested. No? That is only reason.
This is development, this is quality, this is production. See, here in dev, my client is open. Okay, because all my developments will be created here and those developments are saved into transport request. Okay, now those changes I want to test it here. These changes, what are the recordings are done in transport request, those changes I need to test it here. First of all, I need to move this transport from this system to another system. Okay, then my functional team can test here. Okay, then only my functional team can test the changes, right? And they are testing, they are not changing here. Okay, they are not changing any objects, client specific objects or clients cross client objects. Just they are testing the scenario with some test data. Okay, and once the testing has been completed, these changes I need to move from quality to production. Then in production, these changes are in live. Okay, so here these changes will be used by my end user. So here also I need to restrict the changes. Here also I need to restrict the changes. Okay, if I want to restrict the changes, I need a, I should client should be closed. In development, client should be open. In testing, why we are closing? In testing, they are testing the changes only, not they are doing any other modifications, other creations or the other program creations, okay, and all. They are doing only testing purpose only. Got my point?
Uh,
So these are
yeah,
the two important rules. Tell me.
suppose if we want to get the production data, put it into quality.
Production data into quality, see, we can do a system copy. Okay? We can do a system copy from production to quality. Means what? We are bringing production data from production to quality system. Means what it means? In production, I have a 300 client. Okay? In quality, I have a 200 client. Here 200, here 300. Means in my production, where is my data will be there? In 300 client, right? Why? Because all my users are working in 300 only, right? In
Yeah.
300 client only, my production data is there. So whenever I copy production data to quality, so the 300 data will be copied into this system, quality system. Am I correct?
Yeah.
This system copy we'll discuss in next classes. Okay, so it is not affected to production data copy. Okay, what we are talking about, whenever we are talking about the client, what are the specific conditions we need to restrict to that client? Okay, got it?
Yeah. Suppose if we want to modify any user data in the production, then it will affect.
If I want to change my production client, if I want to change my production client, okay, so if there is any major issue came in production, if there is any major issue came in production, 300 client, then what will happen is, okay, client will send an approval. Okay, we need to take a proper approval from client. Why? To open production client, right? To open a production client, we need a proper approval. So if I got a proper approval, then I can go to the production client. I can open the production client using this option and this option and save it. And you can hand over it to who required to change my production client. You can hand over it to concerned person. Once those changes are done, Once those changes are done, then immediately we need to close the client, close the production client. Okay? Immediately we need to select these options and these options. We need to close this client. Why? Because whenever SAP doing auditing, okay, whenever in auditing time, okay, it will check your production system whether you are following your proper business rules or not, okay, and your client is closed or not, okay, and they can fetch the information when you have opened your client, okay. Then they will ask you what basis, what scenarios you have opened, what is the reason, show me the approvals, show me the cause, show me the error, show me the reasons and all the things. So at that time we can show the approvals to open a client and what is the issue and all the things we need to provide them for auditing purpose. Got my point? What are the ticket has been created for this issue? What is the ticket has been created to open a client? What are the client approval emails are there to open a client? So we need to provide the information at the time of auditing purpose. Got my point?
If the client is closed, even user record also we cannot modify, right?
If client is
Closed. Then nothing we can change, right?
user data, right?
Like for example, even user data also we cannot change, right? Like user is working in one department, tomorrow if we get transferred to some other department, even the department we cannot change, right?
No. What will happen is, in that's why the production client should be closed, and what are the, if I want to give some access to one user in production client,
Yeah.
okay, if I want to give some access to one user in my PRD client, what will happen is, first of all, I need to give this access in test client, means quality client. Why? Because first I need to cross check whether the particular access is working or not. Okay?
In development,
whether in development also we have the roles, right? So the roles, you are giving access in the sense what? We are providing some roles in SAP technology. So those roles will be developed in my development system only, right? Those roles, how can I move from dev to quality? I can move using with transport request. Okay. Once role is available in quality, that role will be assigned in quality system first. Okay. And my functional people will test the access, whether it has been given a proper access or not, or whether we have given a more access. Okay, whether we have given a less access. First of all, testing need to be done here. Once testing has been done, then only I can assign, okay, in this transport request. Then only I can assign a role in production client. How the transport will be moved to quality to production. Means the role also moved. Transport request moved in the sense what? The role is saved into one transport request. I have moved transport request from quality to production means what? those changes, those roles will be available in my production. Then I can assign to my user. I can assign to my user. Okay, but what is your question in production client? In production client, user master data can we change or not? That is your
Yeah.
question, right? So,
Yeah.
for example, see, simple scenario I will tell you. In production client, I have a user one. Okay, this user password has been locked or password forgotten. Okay, and he wants to reset the password. Okay, so my who can reset my password? My SAP security consultant can reset the password. Got it? Got my point?
Yeah.
Here, what I am doing is I am not changing any objects. I am changing the data only. Try to understand what are the objects and what is nothing but a data. So if I reset his password, if I reset the password something, okay, using that password he can log into the my PRD client. Okay, got my point? I am not
Yeah.
changing any objects, cross client objects or client specific objects. Just I am updating the data in database tables. See, if you reset the password means if you save this record, then what will happen? Ultimately, the data will be stored in my database, right? This is my database, for example. So whatever password you have resetted, that will be stored in my database table. Correct?
Yeah.
So I can update user master data in client, in production.
Yeah. Even we can assign additional role also.
Yes, we can assign. See,
Okay.
we are not changing. See, if I want to add role 1, role name is role 1. This I want to assign to user 1. Okay. Whenever you want to assign role 1 in production client, first of all, this role will be available in production client, right?
Yeah.
The role should be available. Then only you can assign to the user. If role 1 does not exist in a production client, how can you assign to the user? Whenever you are trying to assign this role to user, it will tell you, boss, role 1 does not exist. Got my point?
Yeah.
So role does not exist, then how can I assign to the user? First of all, I need to bring the role to my production client. How? First of all, this role should be developed in development system only. This is the procedure. This is the SAP suggested procedure, SAP best practice. First, I need to develop this role in development client. Then this role I need to move from development to quality through transport request, right?
Yes.
Whatever changes you are talking about moving means those movings will be done through transport request only. Got my point? So
Yeah.
here I have developed role 1. The role 1 will save into the one change request or transport request. I move transport request from dev to quality means what? The role also will be available here in quality system, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now role 1 came in quality system. My functional people will do the testing. How role 1 is working. Okay. What are the accesses provided in role 1, whether it is working or not. Are we given an extra access? Are we given a less access or wrong access? So all testing will be done by here. Once testing completed, then same transport request I can move from quality to production. So transport request is moved means what? In the transport request, what are the changes are saved? Role 1 is there in my transport request. So the role 1 automatically also moved to production client, right? So now my role is existing production client. So now here I can assign my role to user. Got my point?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is the concept. Any doubts, any questions? Okay, so these are the options we need to select. Okay, whenever we are creating a client. And here, client copier comparison tool, protection level. No restriction, no overwriting, no existing, no external availability. Okay, we need to select a no restriction. If it is a client, this see, no restriction, no overwriting is for protection at client copier. We are protecting our client copy. Okay, client copier and comparison tools. Got my point? Yesterday we discussed, right? This all the things. So now I have created a 200 client. Okay. So now see here. So whenever my SAP system has been installed, okay, I have a standard client 000, 001, 066. So what I have done, I have logged into 000 client with the help of a SAP star user. In that, what I have done, I have created one test user. Yesterday we created, right, one test user. For that test user, I have provided profiles. What is the profiles? SAP all and SAP new. Means we are given a full access to that user, test user, right? And next, I have login with which user? Test user in 000 client. Okay, and here I have created a new client. New client number is 200, right? Now, how many clients are there right now in my development system? 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have created one client, right? 3 plus my new client, 4 clients are there. Okay, so just I have created a client. Got my point?
Yes.
So this client, new client 200, does not have any data right now, right? This is a new client. Just I have created a client. There is no data. This is empty client.
Yes.
Okay. My standard client 000 and 001 will have a data. SAP has provided. Okay. Now I have created only one client. This is my 000 client. This is my 001. This is my 066. 000, 001, 066. Here I have created 200. Every client, standard client will have a data, but my 200 does not have any data right now. Why? Because I have created a client only, means it is an empty client, right? So I want to copy some data from 000 to 200. Got my point?
Yeah.
I want to do data copy from 000 to 200. Okay, this work copy is nothing but one terminology is there, that is client copy. Got my point?
Yeah.
Then only once my 000 data copied from 000 to 200, then only I can log into the 200 client and I can create my functional users or developer users or any user. I can create here, those users can log in here, those users can do their work, developments or testings or something, anything. Without data, what they will do? Without the data in the sense, without programs, coding, screens, business scenarios, business modules, what they will do? So that's why I'm copying a standard client from standard client to new client. So SAP has given one suggestion. Boss, I'm providing a standard client. Don't use these standard clients to your business. Okay? What you will do is create a new client, copy the data from standard client to new client, then you can do whatever work you want in new client only. Don't use the standard clients to do the modifications and all the things. That is SAP suggested. Got my point?
Yeah. What all contents will get copied?
We'll see in client copies. What are the
Okay.
different types of data will be copied. So now my question is, I have created a client, right? Now I want to log into this client, 200 client I want to log in. Then where is the user? I need a user, right? To log into the client.
Yeah.
Where is the user? If I want to
SAP.
if I want to log into the standard clients, I have a standard users. SAP has given me standard users, SAP Star and DDIC. Okay, but I created a new client. In that I don't have a standard user, right?
Yeah.
I required one user to log into the new client, right? So for that, what we need to do is, if you log in, if you want to log in with the new client, we need to set one parameter. Okay, we'll see what is that parameter. So in 000 client, I have created a new client 200. Okay, I want to set one parameter. If I want to set one parameter, then which transaction I need to go? RZ10. RZ10, right? So this parameter need to be set in default profile. Okay, display here. Okay, the parameter is this one. Yesterday I have set this parameter actually. Okay. See, I am trying to select entire parameter. I am trying to select entire. It is not giving me, right? It is not selecting. Go to here, options, quick custom cut and paste. Select this option, quick cut and paste. Now you can select, right? So it is copied. See, if you select this means what? It is copied. If I select this means what? It is copied. Okay. This parameter we need to set. Okay. How can I see that parameter? What is the value and all the things? What is the information? Go to RZ11. Okay. Here, first of all, I don't know the parameter name. Okay. I know the description of the parameter. Something automatic user SAP star will be there. I know the parameter description, but I don't know the parameter naming convention. So how I can filter star auto star select display. So all auto star related parameters will be displayed. Okay, so this is my parameter. Login / no automatic user SAP star. This parameter I need to set. Got my point? So if you want to read about this parameter, click on documentation. Read this information about this parameter, what the parameter will do and what it contains. Okay. The automatic user SAP star means we are the SAP star user. Okay, is a this is standard user. We are giving a provision. Okay, to log in with this user. Read this information. If the user master record belongs to user SAP star is deleted. If it is possible, then re-login with SAP star with the initial password PASS. This is the initial password. Capital letters PASS. SAP star, then the following attributes. And you cannot change the standard password PASS. Okay, this is the fixed password for SAP star. Whenever you set this profile parameter, login / no automatic user SAP star. This is a standard password. And see here default value. Default value is 1. 1 means it is a restricted. It will not allow. Okay. So we need to set a 0. We need to set value 0. In RZ11, you can see any parameter name. Okay. If you selected any parameter, okay, then you can see the description of the parameter in RZ11. Description in this is the documentation. You can read the documentation about that parameter in RZ11, and also what are the default values need to be maintained. Validities are 0 and 1. 0 means what? Automatic SAP star is permitted, means it is given a permission. 1 means deactivated, means it is a restriction. 1 is. Okay. So we need to set the value 0. Default is 1. But we need to set a value 0. If you want to activate, then you need to set a value is 0, right? So what I will do, I will take a copy of this profile parameter. Then I will go to RZ10 extended maintenance. Here I need to select my default profile, right? I need to go to the change. Here I need to click on parameter create. There is no parameter at the first time, right? So I'm going to create. Here it will ask me the parameter name. This is my parameter name. What value I need to maintain? 0 or 1?
0.
0 I need to maintain. Okay, once this has been done, you need to click on copy. Okay, you need to click on copy. Then you will come to this screen. Again you need to click on copy. Got my point? Again you need to click on copy. Then you will come to this screen. Here the version is 4, right? Whenever you saved here, it will show you incorrect parameters are detected from your profile parameters, like default profile parameters and all. Okay. If you want to see what are the incorrect parameters, you can click here yes. Okay. No need to click yes. Okay. If you click on no, then it will ask you, shall I activate the profile? You have changed something, right? Now it is asking me, shall I activate the profile? Yes, activate it. Now version has been changed, you see, 5. Version has been changed. means profile has been activated. Okay. Now it is saying some information. What is that information? It is saying the profile is stored at operating system level. Okay, if you want to affect at application level, then you need to restart the application server. Correct? So now the profile has been saved. If it is affected to application server, then what I need to do? I need to take a restart of my application server. Means I need to take a restart of my SAP server, SAP application using with my MMC, right? Using with my MMC, I can take a restart. Okay. If I take a restart, then what will happen? The profile parameter name and value will be affected. What are the profile parameter I have changed recently? Those will be affected. Got my point?
Why we are setting this parameter to 0, Ramu?
Y means in RZ11, if you see here in documentation, see the values, what values need to maintain for this profile parameter? You need to maintain either 0 or 1 only. Apart from 0 or 1, you cannot maintain any value. Because this profile parameter, it should be saved with the value or 0 or 1. If you saved with 0, then you have given a permission, means SAP star user is activated. 1
Only
means
for
deactivated. This is not a user specific. Parameter is a system specific. Got my point? What are the profile parameters you are doing? That profile parameters will be applicable for entire your system, not specific users.
Yeah, but here only it is mentioned user SAP star is permitted.
User SAP star is permitted means using with SAP star user, I can log in with my system.
Okay.
Using SAP star, see SAP has given one provision. Boss, you can use SAP star, you can log into the system. If you want to use SAP star, you need to first activate the profile parameter in your system. Then only it is eligible, then only you are eligible to log into the system with the SAP star user.
Okay. So initially, whenever we create new client, then first time we have to do this parameter setting.
Yes, first we need to set this parameter and then we need to take a restart. After that, using SAP star user, you can log in into the new client. Okay, what is the password then? What is the password?
PASS.
That is a standard password. You cannot change the standard password.
This will be also one post installation step.
Yes, exactly. I created a new client. If without a user, how can I log in? Correct?
Yeah. So once we do system copy from 000 client, this SAP star user will not come to 200.
When you will do client copy? Yes.
When we will do client copy from 000 to 200, SAP star user will also come to 200, right?
When you will do client copy? First of all, I need to log into the 200 client with some user, right?
Okay.
Then only I can copy the data from 000 to 200. First, you need to log in, right?
Okay.
What I require is, first of all, I need to log in into new client. What is that? 200. If I want to log into new client, I need a user ID, right? Without user, I cannot log in. So
Okay. First, we need to log in and import the data.
whatever SAP suggested was, you created a new client. First of all, log into the new client. Okay, if you want to log into the new client, you require a user ID. So do one thing, use SAP star user. Okay, and using SAP star user, you can log into the new client. Okay, for this also one condition is applied. What is that condition? If you want to use SAP star user ID, you need to set the parameter first. Whatever
Okay.
parameter we have reset, you need to set the
Okay.
parameter. Set the parameter. Okay, and then restart your SAP, because then only the parameter will be affected to my SAP, right?
Okay.
Once this has been done, then I can log in with SAP star user in new client 200. Now I am entered into the new client. Got my point?
Yeah.
Now I have entered into the new client. Now I can take a data copy from 000 to 200.
Okay.
See, now I am in which client? 200 client. Which user? SAP star user. Got my point?
Yeah.
Now I am in new client with SAP star user. Okay. And one more information. This session is for, this is 000 client and my basis 1 user. Okay. /scc4. What are the clients are displaying in SCC4? What is this information in SCC4? What type of what information I am saying? What is this in SCC4?
Clients.
Client information. Means what are the clients are available in my system. In my system, how many clients are available, including standard clients, right?
Yeah.
So these are will stored into one table. The table name is T000. Got my point? Information will be stored. Got my point? Means whenever I created a client here in SCC4 transaction, this client information will be stored in 3000 client table. Got it? So now in T000, how many clients information will be there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 clients information will be there in T000 client. Sorry, in T000 table. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, whenever you created a client, the client will be stored in T000 table. So now I am in new client with my SAP provision given one user SAP star. Now I want to do client copy. Okay. There are 3 different types of client copies are there. One is a local client copy, another one is a remote client copy, another one is client export and import. Okay. How many methods are there in client copy. Local client copy, remote client copy, and client export and import. Okay, got my point? Tomorrow we will see local client copy. How to perform a local client copy. Got my point?
Yeah.
Local client copy, remote client copy, and client export and import. There are three methods we can do a client copy. Client copy means what? I want a copy a data from one client to another client, right? It's nothing but a client copy, right?
Yeah.
So tomorrow we will see the local client copy, how to do a local client copy.
Yeah.
And after that remote client copy, and after that we'll see client export and import.